Hello world, welcome to Interested Yet. Before we begin, I pray for you all's spiritual health, mental and physical. And if you need someone to talk to, find someone who's willing to lend an ear. Hop in the comment section. Find that that place where you would like to have that conversation. Especially men, because really don't have anyone to really talk to like that. Anywho, so I was driving to work and I was thinking about thinking outside of the box when writing, but using the foundation that's already laid. And I know you probably can't see me, but just listen, just hear me out. Set your phone down, do whatever you're doing. So thinking outside of the box when writing, when the foundation is already laid. And my previous video, when I was speaking about the pros and cons of power scaling in Dragon Ball Z, I mentioned absolute DC. And I must say that I believe, as of right now, absolute is probably my favorite storyline of the DC universe. There's a lot of different storylines. I really like the Injustice. That was pretty good. And I kind of don't understand why, Marvel too, but I don't understand why DC don't follow a lot of, they have content that will blow Marvel out of the water for days, but I don't understand why they don't utilize the content that they have at their fingertips. I mean, they should. I guess they tried with it's Flashpoint. I think they did. What was the Flash movie that dropped? Crisis on Infinite Earth. I don't even know this. But DC have a lot of storylines that I really like. But I think that Absolute is my favorite so far. And what's beautiful about it is they took all of the same characters that we know and love, heroes and villains alike, and warped their storylines and changed it. But they're the same characters with different intentions and different characteristics and actions. Like, Joker doesn't like laughter, doesn't like jokes, right? When Batman fought Bane, it's ridiculous. Superman, and his and the technology he utilizes so far, as he progresses in becoming like this I won't say omnipotent being, but as he grows into what we know Superman to be, right? Because he's still fairly stepping into the mantle of Superman. But I love how, he uses this technology to help him. Flash. And in Superman, I like the Lois Lane, how she's integrated into it. Where society is at that point. The militant government that's governing that area, the ones that he's in, who he's opposed to. Wonder Woman. Wonder Woman is phenomenal. I love her story. I love how they tied the mystic arts into her, into her storyline, and it really gives her like a deeper. I mean, man, these absolute stories are ridiculous, and it won't be a deep dive into absolute by no chance, but I'll link in my description the playlist that I'm watching, that I use to watch and keep up with the absolute series. Mostly it'll be comic historian, and rest in peace Benny, and Comics Explained, Rob. It'll be those two. I mean, that's pretty much how I been keeping up with anything comic related. It was initially Comics Explained, but the Absolute series is a brilliant spin on taking the foundation that's already been laid and thinking outside of the box with it, right? Invincible, that's another foundation already laid, think outside of the box. You already know what that's pretty much compared to. The Boys, taking a foundation that's already laid and thinking outside of the box. Pretty much already know what that's based off of. But another great example is Pal World in Pokemon. And what people really don't understand about that situation is Pal World actually is more in tune with what Pokemon originally was. That's the crazy thing. Like, I never understood, like, once I realized like what Pokemon was, what's his Nux Taku. I was watching his video a long time ago, and he was going over why the Pokemon manga, like writing good villains, right? When villains, like writing a good villain, and initially the antagonist in the Pokemon manga, he ended up saving the protagonist to help him fight the antagonist at that time, like the enemy of my enemy is my friend. Like, he was pretty much didn't want to be subjected to whatever rule they had going, so he put his pride and ego aside and then saved the protagonist, one of the protagonists, and then teamed up with them and then fought the main villain. But I don't think a lot of people realize that Pokemon originally was, you're supposed to take down the Pokemon owner. Like, you're supposed to fight the Pokemon owner. So you throw out all your Pokemon, they're not supposed to be, I mean, they fight each other, but the goal was to incapacitate the Pokemon owner. Like chess, you get to the king. Like, yeah, you take as many pieces as you can getting to the king, but if you could get to the king quick and fast without losing any pieces, you win the game, and it's best suitable and convenient to win that way. So you take your Pokemon and you attack the owner and try to incapacitate them, and then you win. Yeah, that's not what Pokemon is right now. That's not what that is. It's more so adventure and, catch Pokemon and battle other people's Pokemon, and like your goal is to fight the Pokemon and not the Pokemon owner. But then entered Pal World. Pal World everyone gravitated to it. Dude, I mean, it is what it is due to the different, like the similarities clearly, but the violence, like the actual, the difference of the gameplay. Like you're involved in catching I don't know what they're called, the beasts, right? You're involved in catching the pals. You know, you have a weapon, you have weapons, you can cast as many pals as you can to catch that, you know, that pal. And it's just like, man, that's what Pokemon was supposed to be, you know, originally when it started, but it's not what it is. But that's what you call taking a foundation that's already laid and thinking outside of the box. We don't have to overcomplicate things whenever we're writing or coming up with ideas or creating certain things, man. We're in a totally different era right now. And I would beg to say we should utilize the resources we have at our disposal as opposed to bashing it and jumping to the past. That's not what we should be doing. We should not focus on the past in that sense when it comes to being innovative and creative. Like AI is here. Like that's it. It's not going anywhere. So the more you try to debate or fight that existence, it's not going to work. It's here to stay. It's here to stay. I'm sure whenever shit, like back in the day when when chefs cooked over open fires, right? And then they came out, then there was the invention of the stove and the oven. I'm pretty sure there was some pushback, but guess what? You either change with the times or you get left behind. Like, it is what it is. I don't see anyone complaining now. Like, it's more convenient to cook in your oven. It's more convenient to cook on your stove as opposed to build a fire, manage the temperatures. I mean, yeah, you see people do it on YouTube, but how many people are, like, what percentage of people are actually willing to go through that trouble to cook like that? Most people don't even cook at home. They go to fast food, which blows my mind. But yeah, so taking a foundation that's already laid and thinking outside of the box, like that's something you should ponder on. But I think the best examples of that is Absolute DC. I mean, it really is the, you know, it's still technically like the DC universe, but just utilized differently, as opposed to like Invincible and The Boys and all these other iterations. But Pokemon and Power World is a great example of taking a foundation that's already laid and thinking outside of the box. Like, that's a great example. And it's not, and the thing is, you don't steal the material, right? You just take the foundation that's already laid and just think outside the box with it. Do what it is you want. You know, I'm writing a kid that's that comes across an elder wand, but he doesn't know the origins of the wand yet. But that's pretty much the premise. That's pretty much the basis of the story. It's discovering the origins of that wand and who I use, what foundation. Harry Potter, of course. But is my character named Harry? No. Am I using a lot of premises that Harry Potter uses? No. But it gives me it's like a cheat code. It gives me a better understanding of the wizarding world and how she used it and how she created it and the things she did with it. And I can take bits and pieces that I liked of that, utilize that in my story, and the things that I didn't like and where I could see and where I see fit, where it could be tweaked, I do it. Simple and plain. But no, it's not like I'm writing the same exact story, Voldemort, no. Because the funny thing is, I don't even have a villain like that, of like a singularity villain like Harry Potter does. Because this story plays into a deeper, bigger role of the universe. Like every single story ties together in some form or fashion, but his story ties in a major piece. A lot of the stories ties in a major piece, but the actual main story that I originally started writing, everything ties into that main storyline. And the beautiful thing is, I guess I could say beautiful. What inspired my original storyline was Berserk. That's what inspired my original storyline. But yeah, so taking a foundation that's already laid, thinking outside of the box. I would love to hear thoughts on that. But yeah, I was just thinking about that yesterday. I thought about it whenever I hopped in the truck to drive to work, and I just thought that'd be an interesting conversation. I will be whipping up scripts for future videos, but not these where I'm driving and just having random thoughtful conversations. But I do have some things in the works as far as writing goes, and with scripts, and so we'll get that situated in the future. Anyone watching this, you have a blessed day. Yeah, y'all be careful out there.